This is the Holy Shekel Crypto Gematriatic Bible Code Scan for Thursday, August 13th, 2026, which is Yom Hamishi. Yom Hamishi. The 30th day of Av, 5786, which is actually Rosh Chodesh. It's a new moon of the Elul new moon, the 6th month. So Chodesh Tov, everyone. That means good month. It's like a good new month. That's what it's customary to be said. And the Parshat of the week is Parshat Shoftim. And the Daf Yomi is Tractate Chullin, page 105. Kuf Hey. And today, Thursday, the coin is Ethereum Classic. It's always the coin for Thursday. The connection between Ethereum Classic and Thursday is in English Gematria with a little bit of anagram reconfiguration. Numerical switching around, that is. Ethereum Classic in English Gematria has a numerical value of 161, and the word Thursday has a numerical value of 116, so they're the same digits, and if they're rearranged, they can be the same. So, and there's other reasons too that are a little bit more esoteric, but that's the main reason, the most identifiable reason. And so today, the price was checked at 4:24 p.m. Israel Daylight Time, and Ethereum Classic is at $6.36, and that's in the Crypto Gematria scan. It's just seen as 636. So $6.36 is the same numerical value as 636. It's just 636 because we're not using it to buy anything. We're just using it to identify passages in the Bible, and if it can have a financial financial aspect to it, all the more the merrier, all the more so. But right now it's just informational. So 636, and the shekel, if you convert the Ethereum Classic's price into shekels, it would be 18 shekels and 91 agurot. So that's 1891. You just see it as 1891. Okay, and in euro, it's $5 so it's 551. Okay, so 636 USD, 1891 in NIS, New Israeli shekel, and 551 in euro dollar. And some interesting results came today. So let's go with the USD. The USD, again, is 636. And that brought forth a very common phrase, and it shows up right in Genesis 1. It's the phrase in Hebrew, Vayehi Erev, Vayehi Boker. It's right there. It happens in all the days of creation. It means it was evening and it was morning one day. But it first occurs in Genesis 1:5, in the first day of creation, and the words Vayehi Erev Vayehi Boker equals 636. 636 is the price of Ethereum Classic in USD, $6.36. Again, Vayehi Erev Vayehi Boker, and it was evening and it was morning. Genesis 1:5. Next up we have the shekel. The shekel is 1891. It's 18 shekels and 91 agurot, but it can be seen as one straight string of digits: 1891, 1891, and there are two verses in the Bible in Hebrew that equal that number, that equal 1891. And this is my question. This is my quandary, and part of the reason for me doing this is an exploration of what Gematria actually is, and if there was intentionality, if we believe that the Torah is the Word of God, and every word and every letter is God-breathed, as it is said, then does that translate to a numerical level as well? I would be inclined to say yes, it does. And that means that every numerical value for every verse has some intention. I mean, that's the speculation. That's the theory. I'm putting it to the test, and that's the reason, part of the reason for this. I always wonder, because I've always been fascinated by Gematria, but how far does it go? And today, people do all kinds of Gematrias, and all kinds of people do silly things with Gematria today. And there's a lot of stuff that are just, you can put numbers to anything. But I would think that in a document, if you can call it that, a holy document such as the Torah, maybe it's a little bit different. The numbers are really intentional. Okay. So in the Bible, in Genesis, chapter 8, verse 20, in the story of Noah, it says that Noah built an altar to the Lord, and he took of all the clean animals and of all the clean fowl and brought up burnt offerings on the altar. I think this might be after the flood stopped. This might be after I'm not sure, but I think it is. He was in Thanksgiving, he offered it. I think it is. But if you wanted to make sure, please check it just to make sure. It says Noah built an altar to the Lord. He took all the clean animals and of the clean fowl and brought up burnt offerings on the altar. Vayiven Noach mizbeach l'Adonai vayikach mikol ha'behema ha'tehora mikol ha'of ha'tahor vayad olot b'mizbeach. And that verse equals 1891, which is the price of Ethereum Classic in shekels. 18 shekels and 91 agorot. So 1891 equals this verse, and something that may seem completely not related to it, since it has the same number, I'm bringing forth the question of if it does or not, and if someone has a more deeper insight or ideas on it, I'd be curious to hear. In the blessings, the wanted to curse, but it was a blessing of Bilam. In Numbers chapter 23, verse 22, one of his blessings were El motziam mimitzrayim ketoafot re'em lo. God has brought them out of Egypt with the strength of his loftiness. Now, this is the Chabad translation, but I don't know if anyone's would be better than this or different. But the words ketoafot re'em lo seems like it's sort of like not an exact translation, but like just the idea of it. Ketoafot re'em. Re'em doesn't necessarily mean strength, but there is an animal spoken of like some kind of, I'm not sure what it is, but it's a mythical animal maybe, or maybe it's I'm not sure what it is, but it's talking about in the blessing of Joseph. It says Meor shoro hadar levakarni re'em, the horns of re'em. So it could be like some kind of bison or ox, or maybe it's I don't want to say something like a unicorn, but maybe it's like a mythical version of an ox, but it has horns, or it has a horn. I don't know. I'm not sure, but they don't translate that here. So basically, what it says is El motzim mitzrayim ketoafot re'em lo. It makes a reference to this re'em. I don't know what re'em else could mean, but they translated strength of his loftiness. Maybe they didn't want to. They wanted to avoid too much confusion, so they just made a general thing. But basically, in Numbers 23:22, it says El motzim mitzrayim ketoafot re'em lo is equal to 1891. Now the question is, does that have to do with Noah? Off the top of my head, I'm always trying to make connections to things that look like they have no connection, but off the top of my head, Noah was in the ark, and the ark was a salvation from the deadly flood, and it's comparable to God taking the Israelites out of a bad situation. They're both bad situations, and they were taken out of it. It says El Motzi Mitzrayim. God took them out of Egypt, and God took Noah out of the flood, in a sense. That's a very simple way of explaining it. But those two verses in Hebrew have the same number. So that's for that. That's the shekel. And now we move on to the euro. The euro is 551, and there's two verses that there are two verses that are also seemingly not related. One is in the portion of the binding of Isaac, when God told Abraham to bring Isaac as an offering. It says, please take your son. He said, please take your son, please, your only one who you love. Please take. It's kind of like a mind bender, like how God would say, please take your son and bring it as a burnt offering. It's like, anyway, a little hard to understand. He said, please take your son, your only one who you love, Isaac, and go away to the land of Moriah and bring him there for burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I will tell you. So the word Eretz HaMoriah, which means the land of Moriah, has a numerical value of 551. That's the euro price for ETC today, Ethereum Classic. So that's in Genesis 22 verse 2. And another word in the Torah is actually a name of someone. He's the leader of the tribe of Menashe. His name was, or is, Gamliel ben Pedatsur. And that's found in Numbers chapter 7, verse 54. In the portion of the princes who gave the offerings during the inauguration of the tabernacle in the wilderness, it says on the 8th day, in B'yom HaShmini Nasi Levnei Menashe Gamliel ben Pedatsur. Okay, the chieftain of the tribe of Menashe, his name is Gamliel ben Pedatsur, and indeed, and in fact, Gamliel ben Pedatsur has a numerical value of 551 as well. So does Eretz HaMoriah, land of Moriah, have to do with Gamliel ben Pedatsur? I must admit I had a hard time making a connection between those two. But, in any case, that is the Holy Shekel Crypto Gematria Bible Code Scan for Thursday, 8/13, August 13th, 2026. Yom Hamishi, 30th day of Av, it's Rosh Chodesh Elul, 5786. Parshat Shoftim, Chullin, 105.